Hello, and welcome to Design for Retrieval, your DFR 101 class for your end-to-end understanding of how to navigate the DFR system. What you see in front of you is a complete view of what is in the DFR structure. We have two different ways to access the information. One is through a back-end client tool that's a little bit heavier, and one is the DFR online tool sets that is for searching and finding and analytical reporting. We are going to quickly go through all of these different modules and let you understand what they're each for. We're going to start with the DFR client. The client access is restricted to people who are going to be navigating the classification tree, changing the classification tree, making updates, making edits, adding attributes, etc. So the DFR client is typically going to be somebody who's more the DFR admin savvy. But let me go through those modules. Every page will have a home page. This is our, of course, convergence data. It will be your client homepage. And we have the classification manager in here. The classification manager will allow you to do everything you want to do with a category tree, from adding new categories, updating categories, deleting categories. You can edit them, attributes in those categories, as well as copying the attributes and moving them to another category. If you want to see a test, I can actually cut a category right here, and that is a prune. If I prune that category tree, and I want to put it somewhere else, I can then graft that tree to another location, and it quickly moves not only the category, but all the parts and attributes that were in it as well. I can do the same thing to go back. So I prune, and I can graft and paste those categories, and you can see it's quick and easy functionality in the classification structure. You can navigate the tree. You can understand exactly what categories are in there. Now, this category tree is our demonstration model, just for something that you can look at and you can see in this video. But when you see the attributes over here, you can see that there are arrows. The attributes that have arrows on top are telling us they were inherited from a higher parent. And the ones that have keys tell us they're key attributes. And then we can understand whether they're required attributes or not. And then you can update statuses and all of those attributes as well. So we do have a lot of capabilities in the classification tree. Move the tree around, create new trees. In that, all of these attributes come from the attribute manager. The attribute manager is designed to do high-level master attributes for the different parts of the tree. You'll create one master attribute and you can apply it anywhere in the classification structure. If you want to create different unit of measure types, data types rather, we can do that. In this case, let me show you all of the types of parts that have the numeric. So in this case, if I'm going to edit this attribute, this is height. I can put in any long description that I want. And you'll see that the type is numeric. The length is what the unit of measure type is. I can pick any unit of measure type, and then it will allow me to pick the base unit of measure. Conversions will be done on the report, so whatever the base is what it will be converted to, but you can input data in any of the allowed unit of measures for that unit of measure type. So we have the attribute manager, the classification manager. We have some great tools that allow you to do analysis and validations on different parts. So if I'm up on this category, we can actually go ahead and look at all the parts that are in a category. Of course, you can see there's always pictures in the different categories. You can see those parts as they come through, and you'll be able to see where there's holes in those parts, the required parts. When you run validations, it will allow you to do a little bit more understanding of what are not living up to rules, etc. Since this is a general overview, I'm not going to go into a lot of detail, but we do have abilities to do an export manager. We can export classification, attribute group data, or specific item part data. And we can also import bulk information as well. There are some great analysis tools in our cluster. Our cluster analysis allows us to, for a particular set of parts, in this case screws, I want to weight the different attributes and talk about exactly what the different attribute values are. And I want to run that. When I calculate this, this will help me find close friends to that part in the data so I can understand where there are near duplicates. And we'll talk more about that in our video on analysis and reporting. Let me quickly jump over now to our online so you can understand the different online features that we have. In DFR Online, we have the whole set of modules that are available. Reports is where we find our dashboard. The report section allows us to track the statuses of categories, attributes, and the item data. It allows us to go to other reports. If you go to Smart Class, this is a way to navigate the classification structure. So if you want to actually see the different parts of the tree that are out there and you don't have access to the client, this would be a great place to do that. Starting at the root, going down through parts, I can now understand if I want to see the fasteners, go down through the screws, and maybe go into cap screws, I can see all of the different classification models, and as you noticed, you can also see the information about that category. So this is the category path, and then you can see all of the attributes associated with that category today, and then what the data types are, the lengths and the strings. I can also make allowed values here. So in this case, I might want to create an allowed value on, say, finish, and it looks like there is one on there today. I get some details and understand today this is the allowed values list that can go into that finish attribute. We can create lots of different allowed values and make sure that they're all set so you don't have to get unwieldy information into category attribute information. Moving along, we now have the Smart Create. That's a way, Smart Create is a way to again, navigate the tree, but in this case, we're trying to understand if we already, by the way, you can also do a search over here, if you already have parts, and if you don't already have parts, you can understand if you want to create a new part. So in this case, head type is button type, you go through material, you pick different materials, and as this is going on, you'll see your part amount get lower and lower. If you get to the point where your thread length is, say, 2, and there's no parts, then it will allow you to continue and actually create a part in the system if you have those editing capabilities to do so. Moving along, we have Smart Analytics. Again, I'll go into detail with the analytics in our analysis and reporting section. Right now, know that this is the place where you can go to get very detailed population reports or bar and pie charts, as well as duplicate analysis reports. You can save your reports, and you can go ahead and get catalog statuses here. In addition to the Smart Analytics, you have your Find tool. Your Smart Find tool allows you to search either by part description or by classification. And you have another option besides typing in here and finding a category. So say cap screws again, it will start to bring up all the different cap screw categories. You can choose to navigate through the tree right here on this main page. So if you click on the image will take you to the next section. If you click on the word, it will take you to all the parts in that category. And it will take you to what we call as a Smart Find result with all of the different categories those parts are in and all the parts. And you can even go in there and understand in the part, the details. You can leave comments on those, a full description of everything you might want. In addition to that, we have Smart Track, and I want to make sure we cover all the modules. Smart Track is our project tracking, and if you have parts to review and approve, Smart Track is what you're going to see your parts. So if you have some assigned to you, it's going to say My Parts. My Parts will allow you to click through and actually take you to the screen we just worked. In each of those projects, you'll see the parts that you need to then approve, reject, leave comments, assign to somebody else, etc. When you see the Smart Track project, everything in blue is a new project, and you'll only see the project if you are either an owner or a task owner. So one of those will be what you will see, otherwise you won't see the project. Overall, we have a full suite of projects that allows you to go ahead and get the information you need. See our follow-up videos for more information, and we look forward to using the system. Thank you very much. Have a great day.